The more advanced technology becomes, the dumber people become. All right, Shalom Israel. First and foremost, as always, I would like to give more all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakaha, Kwadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return, and double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. This is the brother Yashamai coming back at you with another YouTube video. And the title of this one is going to be called The More Advanced Technology Becomes, the Dumber People Become.
Future of transformation tech just arrived, and
That's
it
tough.
sounds illegal.
Nah, that's crazy. That's hard.
The detail, though. Oh, look at the length. Wow,
Bro, what? That locked in crazy.
the lines are perfect. That finished way too clean.
Run that back.
That's crazy. Hold on, that detail is wild.
Bro, look at the lines. Nah, that's perfect. Look at that. That's insane.
The detail, though. It got the whole front. Every side is locked. The ends are actually perfect.
Dios mío. Bro, that's crazy.
The future of transfer.
And people don't see the manipulation that is going on here. You know, I mean, first off, the Holy Scriptures speak about how you're not supposed to print any marks upon you. Now, getting braids is not wicked. You know, back in the ancient world, there were a couple examples of men, Israelite men, that actually had braids, which is where you get, you know, the Holy Scriptures did not call them braids. They call them locks, because when you get braids, generally that's what's happening to your hair. Your hair is being locked up to basically mimic what braids are. But the way technology is going, people is not even going to know how to braid hair anymore, because you got machines to do it for you. Now, just real quick, to show you that if you get tattoos, you're going off. Now, some will argue, well, it's just a machine, man. Well, the Holy Scriptures say that you're not supposed to print any marks upon you, okay? The evolution of sinning against the Lord is evolving. Now you got machines to print marks upon you. Leviticus, let's go to Leviticus real quick, you know. And you see, this is why the prophets of the Heavenly Father were hated back in the ancient world. Because you see, they would always get on our people for doing dumb shit like getting tattoos. And you know, rebellion is what led to us going into captivity to begin with. Let's see, this is Leviticus chapter 19, verse 28. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord. Where it said print? Well, look, you're still cutting into the flesh. Just real quick, let's read this in the let me see. Cause see, with all this technology, right? People can't remember phone numbers anymore. You know, I remember when I was a child growing up, if you wanted to call somebody in order to hang out with them, you had to remember their phone number. Of course, it'd start out with you writing it down, you know. And again, you had to write it down. You didn't have to text it into your phone. You know, people ain't at this rate. People ain't even gonna know how to write. But let's see. Let's see. Parallel. Yeah, my Bibles. See, so we're gonna do parallel. We're gonna turn parallel Bible on, and we're gonna do it with the NLT on first. Okay. Okay. So not. Okay. And look right here, right? Showing you that you're not even supposed to get lineups. Leviticus 19 verse 27 in the NLT. Do not trim off the hair of your temples, okay, or trim your beards, which you can cut your beard. You just can't have 5 o'clock shadows. You know, you can't just cut your facial hair completely off. Okay. So when you read the KJV, it says that you're not supposed to mar the corners of your beard, meaning you're not supposed to line yourself up, because the ancient Egyptians, which is where that shit started, they was doing that. Okay, they was lining themselves up. Okay, lining up their sideburns, their beard. Well, I don't even think Ham could grow a beard, but if they could, man, they was lining up the corners of their beard. Okay, so let's read verse 28 in the NLT. Right, it says, "Do not cut your bodies for the dead. Do not mark your skin with tattoos." And then it says, "I am the Lord." When you see the Lord in all caps, that's talking about Yahweh. Okay. Okay. So, you know, let's do some statistics, some research statistics. Okay. Let's type in how stupid has technology, how stupid has technology made people? Okay. Because, you know, before vacuum cleaners, there were brooms. Okay. Remember when you used to sweep your rug? Yeah, you know. And house cleaning was also a form of exercise, because you actually had to get up and do something, you know. So before vacuum cleaners, there were brooms, you know. Before phones, there was human communication. Okay, remember, you know, if you wanted to see how your neighbor was doing, you'd actually get up off your ass, put your pants, your shirt, and your shoes on, and you will walk to your neighbor's house, knock on their door. You know, his family might invite you to come in for lunch, dinner. You know, you might talk and have a good time, and that might cause, you know, your family to basically, you know, meet your friend's family. You know, which will create unions. You know, you might end up, you know, your neighbor might have had a daughter you didn't know about. You know, you might fall in love with their daughter. You know, I mean, you know, technology has really separated people and have dumbed them down a lot. Okay, before fans, there was I'm talking about electronical fans. Before electronical fans, there was the actual fan you would hold in your hand. You would wave it, you know, making your body active. You would wave it. So, hey, technology has also made people lazy. You know, before motorcycles, there were bikes, there were skateboards, scooters. Now there's electric scooters. Okay. Which, you know, I can't really talk because I have an electric scooter, but guess what? My electric scooter is down. So that does not stop me from doing hours worth of walking just to get to work and then back to the crib, or back to where I'm living at, you know, but before cars, there were horses, you know. See, like the Lord had a natural order of things before all this technology, Salakia. I mean, hell, before TVs became a thing, before computers, people used to go outside, throw the football, play basketball, kick the ball around, It was called having a family timeout. Now, how often do people do family timeout? The only time people really do family timeout is really around Memorial Day, Like we just had a Memorial Day. Of course, I didn't celebrate it. Okay. Because that's a pagan holiday, But, Memorial Day should never be the only day when you should be having a family timeout, You should always be openly, readily available to take your son and your daughter to the park so they can play, run around, get recreation, kick the ball around, throw it, But now, you got all these video games, computer games, you got all these movies, you got IMAX on your TV, HBO, and it's made people dull to the point to where they really don't, you really don't want to spend time with your family anymore, Like there shouldn't be no reason why you're a father, you got 3 sons, but you barely spend time with them because your sons is in a room, 24/5 or 24/7 or whatever, playing Call of Duty or Fortnite, playing Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Striker. Like, you get what I'm saying, man? So let's look at the statistics here. How stupid has technology made people? And don't give me no bullshit ass answers. Like, technology hasn't really. Let me see. I want a real answer, man. Technology hasn't necessarily made us stupid. All right. So, I'm just gonna, cause yeah. How smartphones are creating the most stupid generation in history. That's technology, right? AI is making you dumber. Okay? Check that out. Let me see. How AI and technology are making us dumber. And now we understand that the word dumb really means cannot speak. So dumber, well, when they say dumber, they're really relating to the word stupid. Okay, that's why I put stupid instead of dumb, because the word dumb means you cannot speak. Okay. See, is technology damaging human intelligence? Okay, and this is coming from experts. Since AI is too stupid to, since AI is playing too damn stupid. The word AI is an acronym for artificial intelligence. Okay, when you go into the word intelligence, it goes back to the word demon. Okay, now demons are not always going to tell you the truth. Okay, even artificial demons can lie to you. You see, showing you that AI can be dangerous at times. Which is why you shouldn't really depend on AI too much for answers. Because you'll type in AI overview. What was King David a black man? They'll tell you, nah, he ain't look like a black man. No, he was red or he looked like a so-called white man or some dumb shit like that. So you can't always depend on AI or you can't depend on artificial intelligence for everything. Human experience No, those who have been through experience will always give you the best answer, especially if they're telling you the truth. So experts believe that this information overload and constantly flipping between devices has contributed to the perceived decline in our concentration levels over time. Okay. Perick observed a 2022 poll by King's College London showed that nearly half of those surveyed thought that their attention span was reducing. Okay. Okay, is AI making us dumb? Prof G. This survey of business school students found a significant negative correlation between frequent AI tool usage and critical critical thinking ability, And people don't even know how to do critical thinking anymore, and nowadays people is running to artificial intelligence for everything, for transportation, for entertainment, for answers, remember when you had to go to the library and just to get particular answers on history? Well, now you can just go to Google and type in, such and such, and it give you an answer right there. People don't even read books anymore. Okay? Are humans still smarter than AI? Let me see. Is tech making us smarter or lazier? No, it's make you dumber and lazier. Let me see. What age is 90% of the brain? Is 95% of the brain developed? Which 3 jobs will survive AI? What does God say about AI? Okay, well, the city of I is different from AI. Let me see. Okay, the city of I. Imagine that, the city of artificial intelligence in the Bible. Come on, man. Now it's called the city of I. I wouldn't know how. Let me see. How technology makes us stupid. Bam. Let's click on this website here. And excuse the ads. This world is getting away with that. Getting away with too much of this shit. And that's another thing too, man. TikTok is just, there's too many people using TikTok for unnecessary shit. Okay, when social media was first created, right, it was for people to tell their friends and family about their lives and what they're doing, which is really ultimately a trap. Because then now all that info is going to the government. The government is knowing all about your activities. Hey, look, last week I went to the ice cream shop. I got a strawberry ice cream on a cone. Then I went and hanged out with my girlfriends, and, we went to the movies, and then we decided to go to Macy's and buy some new clothes. Well, the government is surveying you, man. Well, what do you think surveys are all about? Okay, so how technology makes us stupid, tackling the tech trap. And I've said it before, all this technology is a trap, man. Now you got cars with combustible engines. Okay, cool. But now you got electric cars. You got electric buses, electric trucks, electric vans. And all these things could drive on their own. Well, what happens if the U.S. government sends a virus into the computer system of your vehicle and causes it to malfunction? Now you're driving at 200 miles per hour. You can't stop. You can't get out your seat belt. You can't open the door. You're pretty much inside of your own grave at that point. Now there's electric bikes, which normal bikes are way better than electric bikes, because at least with a normal bike, you got to work. You actually got to use your body to get where you need to get to. Now they have electric bikes, like, shit. Yeah, we know. Okay. Riding your bike up a hill is tedious, but I used to do it all the time to challenge myself. It used to be an excellent workout for my cardio system, my legs, my thighs. You know, it was a good way it was a good way to get your body moving. Now there's electric bikes. It moves for you. You see, man? So it says all of us are using technology every day, pretty much. 85% of American adults can't spend even a day without using technology. We feel safer and smarter by using applications, search engines, and AI tools, but in fact, they make us more stupid and incapable. You know, you can't remember you can't remember phone numbers. Hell, some people can't even remember their own phone number, you know? You know, like if a chick ever came up to a guy and asked him for his number because she was interested in him, he would have to pull out his phone and look for his own number in his own smartphone. See, there's a reason why they call it smart technology. There's a reason why they call it smart technology, man, because it's designed to make you dumber while its intelligence remains at the same level. So human intelligence, human knowledge, human wisdom and understanding is on the decline because it is technology, okay? They make us more stupid and incapable, right? I can't tell you how many people who drive cars who can't even walk for 45 minutes. You know, how many people drive cars that are incapable of walking for even 30 minutes? Like you drive a car, but you're incapable of driving for 30 minutes. You know? I remember when I was a security officer, I used to work inside of this building, you know, called Robo Towers or Spalino Towers, which had like 12, 20 something floors. You know, I was a security officer there. You know, let me tell you that, man, I used to take the stairs a lot of the time, man, because walking up the stairs is good for your joints. It's good for your legs, your knees. You know, it's good for your muscle fibers. It's good for your muscles. You know, walking up the stairs seems like a workout for most people, but it's good for you. You know, there's a lot of people who take the elevator because they're incapable of using the stairs. It says the comfort of technology is making our brains lazy. Yeah, you know, and all this technology, and you still got niggas out there that's too lazy to research. Like, I mean, like your teachers is not asking you to go to the library and look for a particular book and, you know, you got to go to page such and such and you got to read a whole page. Nah, man. All you got to do is get on your phone and type in, you know, what is the ABCs of blah, 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 and such, and it literally do it for you. We are trading our brain power for tech convenience. You see that? If the battery is gone, there's little we can do on our own. Man, you know, like you got all these electric stoves, right? But how many of you know how to actually start a fire from scratch? Using just rocks and sticks and like a pile of hay. It says this blog tries to help you find the right balance between using technology in a smart way so you stay sharp. So, I mean, that's pretty much all I need to know, man. You know, and I can't tell you how many times I don't seen people walking up and down the street with their eyes glued to their phone. Like how many times I don't, you know, rode my bike up the street, down the street, and their eyes would be so glued to the phone, they hardly even know that somebody was behind them. I mean, like, bro, if I was an assassin, your ass would have been back in the spirit world. I mean, it ain't like you would have saw me coming. But thankfully, I'm not an assassin. But anyways, that's pretty much it, man. Before I close it out, let's go to 2nd Esdras 14.
Debased in character. This place that became debased in character. Okay?
2nd Esdras chapter 14.
Of this place is that of dung. Okay? Is that of shit? In other words. But I says unhealthy. It says wow. It's unhealthy.
Okay.
Like literally everything.
2nd Esdras 14 verse 16. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age. As time progresses, people, knowledge, wisdom, intelligence level is going to drop. Through time passing by, man. Because of all this technology that's making everything convenient for them, you know. Now they got it. Now they got lights where if you clap your hands, the lights turn on. I mean, like, how lazy can people be? Just get up off your ass and turn the light on.
I don't know why 106 came to my mind, but forgive me if that ain't the number. But you know that this dude carries so many.
But it says, for look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. With that, I'm going to say shalom. Is on to the next one.